After finishing his business trip, Zhu Hongchang, upon landing, received an urgent call from his lover Li Qian. "Hongchang, are you back? I need to talk to you about something. Your wife came to my store today and caused a scene, demanding a compensation of 200,000. What should I do? Hongchang, you have to help me." These bewildering words left Zhu Hongchang utterly confused. After Li Qian explained the situation, Zhu Hongchang exploded in anger. "Are you out of your mind? You know she's my wife, and yet you sold her fake goods? Are you crazy for money? Hongchang, I know I was wrong. I was foolish for a moment, wanting to earn a little more. Hongchang, now is not the time to be angry. Your wife is relentless, she insists on tenfold compensation, or she'll report me to the Consumer Association and the Market Supervision Bureau. I invested a lot in decorating the store last year, as you know. I put in so much money, effort, and energy. Hongchang, you must help me. She's your wife, and only you can help me. If you don't help me, I'm finished." Li Qian cried, tears streaming down her face. Zhu Hongchang's head buzzed, and his temples throbbed. Although he had always known Li Qian was greedy, focused on profit, and obsessed with money, he never imagined she would stoop so low as to deceive his wife for a little extra cash. Calculating it, they had known each other for almost 3 years. From when she first acquired this storefront to later when her funds for purchasing goods were insufficient, he had given her over 100,000. Adding the expenses for hotels, meals, and various gifts and holiday red envelopes he bought for her upon her requests, over the 3 years, he had spent at least 200,000 on her. Considering his income, he had been quite generous to her. However, he never expected her to be so shameless as to target his wife for the sake of a little more money. It turned out that his wife, Xiang Li, had been buying skincare products from Li Qian's store since the beginning of last year. Li Qian's products were slightly cheaper than elsewhere, and she promised a tenfold refund for fakes. So, not only did Xiang Li frequently patronize the store, but she also brought friends. Over the past year, she had visited the store 5 or 6 times. However, Li Qian never mentioned this to Zhu Hongchang. She didn't bring it up because she knew that if she told Zhu Hongchang, he would definitely be very resistant and ask her not to do business with his wife. This was easily understandable. What man could tolerate such a stimulus? His wife had become the customer of his lover, almost no different from carrying a bomb on his head. So, thinking it was better to avoid trouble, she ran her business with an open door, and whose money wasn't worth making? She didn't have "I am Zhu Hongchang's lover" written on her face. How could his wife find out? With this kind of wishful thinking, she never told Zhu Hongchang. Whenever Xiang Li came, she and her staff warmly welcomed her. Then what was the situation this time? Not long ago, Xiang Li's team achieved outstanding performance, and the boss was very pleased. In addition to the basic commission, he also asked Xiang Li to buy a slightly upscale gift for each female employee, including herself, as a reward. She could decide what to buy, and he would reimburse her later. Shortly afterward, Xiang Li ordered 8 sets of the same skincare product set priced at over 3,000 each from a well-known skincare brand's official website, totaling over 30,000. After the boss saw her phone order, without much thought, he transferred the money to her. Little did he know that after receiving the transfer from the boss, Xiang Li immediately applied for a refund for that order. Instead, she went to Li Qian's store because they had the same set, and it was several hundred cheaper per set than the official website. Not only that, but she currently uses another reasonably priced brand herself, and it's satisfactory. So, she doesn't really need to buy the whole set for herself, she could just buy 7 sets. This way, besides the price difference of a few hundred per set, she would also save the cost of 1 set. Calculating roughly, she could net a profit of several thousand. The reason she dared to do this is that she had made multiple purchases at Li Qian's store without any issues before, believing that all the products sold there were authentic. Little did she know that Li Qian's store was actually selling a mix of genuine and fake products. The reason Xiang Li had received authentic products in previous purchases was because Li Qian knew from the beginning that she was Zhu Hongchang's wife. Being Zhu Hongchang's mistress, engaging in business under the guise of being his wife was already risky, and she naturally wouldn't risk giving her fake goods. Moreover, Zhu Hongchang treated her quite well. When she initially secured this storefront, including subsequent stock purchases, he contributed the money. In case he found out that she not only did business with his wife but also sold her fake goods, he would undoubtedly harbor intense hatred towards her. However, this time was different. She wasn't buying it for herself but as a reward for the employees on behalf of her boss. In Li Qian's view, those in sales worked hard every day, faced uncertainties, and earned hard-earned money. They probably wouldn't be willing to spend so much on skincare products. Even if she gave them fakes, they wouldn't be able to tell. Even if someone did feel something was off, they probably wouldn't say anything out of courtesy. So, taking this risk, she provided Xiangli with 7 sets of counterfeit products. The result was that one female colleague's face broke out after using the set that Xiangli provided. She had used this brand before without any issues. Subsequently, another colleague claimed it was fake. Although she hadn't used it herself, her friend had been using this brand, and upon receiving the set, immediately declared it was fake. They promptly asked Xiangli to negotiate with customer service. Xiangli was dumbfounded. She hadn't bought it from the official website, so how could she negotiate? When her colleagues saw her panicked expression, they immediately guessed what had happened. If it were some trivial thing, they might let it slide, but for such an expensive item, her daring to buy fakes for them was outrageous. Unable to bear it, someone reported the matter to the boss. Faced with the boss's questioning, Xiangli broke into a cold sweat. She had to admit that she bought it from a physical store she often visited. Originally thinking of supporting that business, she didn't expect the store to be so unscrupulous, actually selling her fakes. This feeble explanation, even she found it hard to believe. Moreover, even if they believed her, what difference would it make? That wouldn't hide the fact that she had taken advantage of the situation to make money. For the first time in her life, Xiangli had the impulse to die. After work that day, Xiangli went straight to Li Qian's store to hold her accountable. Although Li Qian felt guilty, she stabilized her emotions and claimed the products were genuine. But since Xiangli wasn't satisfied, Li Qian offered a refund. Xiangli didn't agree, insisting on tenfold compensation. Li Qian asked her to produce a testing report to prove she was selling fake goods. Unbeknownst to Li Qian, Xiangli confronted her head-on. She not only had the goods meticulously checked by other counters but also spent money to have them tested by a professional organization. The report proved that the product's ingredients completely deviated from the description. They were indeed fake. Now, Li Qian had nothing more to say. However, compensating over 20,000 for the 7 sets was a huge loss. After all her efforts, she couldn't let it go to waste. So, reluctantly, she risked being scolded by Zhu Hongchang and sought his help. "Hongchang, help me persuade your wife. Tenfold compensation is too much, I really can't afford it." I didn't think that much at the time, I just thought she was buying it for the boss, not spending her own money. If it were for her personal use, I definitely wouldn't give her fake goods. "Hongchang, how about this? I promise to compensate her tenfold, and you help me cover the cost. Your money to her is just a matter of shifting funds from one pocket to the other." "Me cover the cost?" Zhu Hongchang was almost amused by Li Qian's shamelessness, feeling the urge to slap her for the first time. He restrained his emotions. "I don't have the money. The company's performance is not good, and my income is much less than before. Otherwise, I wouldn't have traveled far to explore new markets." He smiled indifferently. "You always complain that running this lousy store is exhausting and doesn't make money, right? Why don't you just close it down and run away? My wife won't be able to find you then." "Zhu Hongchang, are you joking? Selling fake goods is my mistake, but does your wife have no fault? If she wasn't greedy for a bargain, would she buy fake goods? You say I'm crazy for money, what about her? Calculating against the boss and colleagues, she's even more malicious than me. Zhu Hongchang, let me tell you, if you don't help me resolve this matter, don't blame me for revealing our relationship. Running this store is not easy for me, and it wasn't my intention to scheme against her. Alright, you figure it out. I told her I need a day to consider, you better give me an answer by tomorrow." When Zhu Hongchang got home, he indeed saw a pile of skincare gift boxes in the living room. Xiangli tearfully explained the whole story to Zhu Hongchang, saying, "I reordered from the official website for them later, so the matter is considered settled. The boss didn't say much, but I'm finished. The boss won't trust me anymore, and I don't know what they'll say behind my back." "Zhu Hongchang, no wonder when you called, you didn't seem in a good mood, it's because of this. That despicable woman." Xiangli angrily said, "I bought so many times in her store, and she actually harmed me with fake goods. May she suffer a thunderous death." Zhu Hongchang, "So, what do you plan to do?" "Of course, make her compensate me. Now, with the counter's identification results and the testing report from the organization, if she doesn't compensate me tenfold, I'll report her to the Consumer Association and Market Supervision Bureau. Forget it. Zhu Hongchang said, this kind of thing happens a lot. How many actually get compensated? Getting a refund is already good. It's not as easy to defend your rights as you think. Unless you have time and energy to drag it out with her. Listen to me, just ask for some compensation, anything is fine. That kind of store won't last long. If you push her too hard, she might just close down and run away, and you won't get a penny in compensation. If you have this time, you might as well focus on getting more business. Ultimately, the boss cares about profits. You work hard, that's stronger than anything else. Dealing with your colleagues is even simpler. Isn't there a high-end Western restaurant across from your company? Just invite them there. Eat at a Western restaurant? Won't that cost money? And do you know how expensive that restaurant is? The cheapest steak there costs several hundred. Bribing hearts is never too expensive. Despite holding back a lot of anger, Zhu Hongchang remained calm. Let them know you bought skincare products at that store not to make a profit but for convenience and to support a friend's business. You had no idea your goodwill would backfire, and you're also a victim. They know how expensive that restaurant is. After eating such an expensive meal, who would still hold on to this matter? The idea is good, but, with so many people, how much money will it cost? This time, I did a lot of work on the business trip for the boss and received a bonus of 2,000. Take it and treat them. If it's not enough, I'll transfer more to you. Originally depressed to the point of contemplating suicide, Xiang Li, like someone with a sudden relief from a congested nose, hugged Zhu Hongchang tightly. Thank you, Hongchang. I thought you were going to scold me to death. You're too good to me. Zhu Hongchang's strategy indeed worked. Xiang Li spent a high price to treat her colleagues, successfully breaking the deadlock and restoring her image. Following Zhu Hongchang's advice, she only asked Li Qian for a compensation of 10,000 yuan. However, this 10,000 yuan was actually covered by Zhu Hongchang. Li Qian was unwilling to contribute even this amount. With the conclusion of this farce, any remaining good feelings and attachment Zhu Hongchang had towards Li Qian vanished. Afterward, Zhu Hongchang never called Li Qian nor sent her any messages. When Li Qian tried to arrange a meeting, he declined, citing a busy work schedule. Li Qian couldn't help but laugh. What? Are you really cutting ties with me? Zhu Hongchang, just 10,000 yuan, is it necessary to be like this? Besides, that 10,000 went to your wife, it didn't benefit anyone else. We've been together for 3 years, you didn't used to get angry over such a small amount of money. Zhu Hongchang coldly stated, do you think this is about money? Then what is it? Are you still mad that I sold fake goods to your wife? If you don't want to have any more dealings with me, that's fine, I won't pester you. But after all, we've had something. There's something I think you should know. What is it? Your wife was accompanied by a man the last 2 times she came to my store to buy things, and both times the man paid. What? That man and your wife seem to have an unusual relationship. After buying things, your wife got into his car, and I don't know where they went. I have surveillance footage in my store, I've clipped that part and sent it to you. Send it. During the interval when she sent the video, Zhu Hongchang asked, why didn't you tell me about this before? Before, you didn't mention breaking up with me. Li Qian chuckled, if I had told you, you would have been busy catching your wife's affair, and you wouldn't have had the mood to enjoy with me. Also, you would have blamed me for privately contacting your wife. I also knew that even if you divorced your wife, you wouldn't marry me. I don't want to get involved in such damaging affairs. Is that so? Zhu Hongchang smiled, so why are you telling me now? Now it's different. You're breaking up with me, and if I don't tell you, I'll be uneasy. Alright, I've sent the video. Although it's a bit blurry, you can still see the man's face. Li Qian's laughter couldn't hide her malicious joy, her greed and shamelessness were vividly displayed. Zhu Hongchang, unable to care about his anger towards Li Qian, quickly opened the video. At a glance, he recognized that the man was Xiang Li's ex-boyfriend. In the footage, they were very close. The man seemed intentionally leaning towards her, and surprisingly, she made no effort to evade. He remembered Xiang Li mentioning that her ex-boyfriend was very poor initially, and her family disagreed, leading to their breakup. However, later, he heard that he became wealthy, invited her for dinner through someone else, but she didn't go. Yet, she never informed Zhu Hongchang about their recent encounters. Moreover, she didn't mention that he bought things for her. Zhu Hongchang suddenly felt dizzy and overwhelmed. He didn't know if he had been deceived. In his eyes, Xiangli was imperfect but generally not prone to major mistakes. He wasn't deeply in love with her, but he was aware that only with her could he maintain a relaxed and comfortable state, free from significant pressure or mutual disdain. Compared to Li Qian, who resorted to selling her looks, Xiangli at least was self-reliant. He thought Xiangli was absolutely transparent in front of him, with no reservations or secrets. Yet, she had secretly met her ex-boyfriend behind his back. Zhu Hongchang finally realized how malicious Li Qian was. She deliberately waited until this moment to inform him, seeking revenge for him initiating the breakup and making him feel uncomfortable. He regretted not cutting ties with this woman sooner. After carefully observing Xiangli for some time, Zhu Hongchang didn't notice anything unusual. One day, he couldn't help but ask her, "Has your ex-boyfriend contacted you recently?" Xiangli smiled somewhat unnaturally. "Why are you suddenly asking me this?" After a long silence, she answered, "No. He invited classmates to dinner before, and I didn't go. After that, I haven't heard from him. Why do you suddenly ask me about this?" Zhu Hongchang remained silent for a long time and said, "No reason, just asking." He should have been furious, should have thrown the video in her face and demanded an explanation. However, at this moment, he wasn't as angry as expected. Instead, he was surprisingly calm. He dared not bring up the video that Li Qian sent him to confront Xiangli. It was the surveillance footage from Li Qian's store, something Xiangli could recognize at a glance. If she went to question Li Qian, given Li Qian's malice, she would likely reveal their relationship. That would be much more serious than Xiangli meeting her ex-boyfriend privately. Zhu Hongchang suddenly felt exhausted. Being continuously demanded, used, and threatened by Li Qian was tiring. Suspecting whether his wife had done something similar was even more draining. Now that Li Qian's chapter had come to a close, should he also erase the issue of Xiangli meeting her ex-boyfriend from his mind, pretending he never knew? Zhu Hongchang sighed deeply. Apparently, being cheated on and being the cheater were both detrimental to one's health. In the days to come, he decided to keep a close eye on his wife and manage himself better.